Welcome back, Offshore Engineers. It's episode 4 of our Explainer series. So, picture this. Your pre-jacking checks are all wrapped up. Your OIM just gave you the green light. Basically, it's go time. Today, we're diving into the absolute masterclass of executing a flawless jacking operation on a Leader Now Super 1160E class rig. We're going to cover the whole 9 yards, from dropping those legs to the seabed, right up to pushing that hull into the sky and locking it all down. It's high stakes, it's complex, but by the end of this, we're going to have it totally dialed in. Let's get to it.
But hey, real quick, before we turn any keys, here is the absolute golden rule. Consult your vessel-specific IOM manual before performing any work. Look, we're covering the exact procedures for the Super 116E today, but your rig-specific manual, that is the ultimate law of the land. No exceptions, right? Never proceed without it.
Okay, here's our flight plan for today. We're going step by step through a live operation. 1. Lowering legs to seabed. 2. Elevating the hull. 3. Console controls. 4. Alarm response. 5. Emergency options. And finally, 6. The post-jacking sequence. Let's jump right in.
Phase 1. Lowering legs to seabed. Precision from the surface to the ocean floor.
All right, so we kick things off by closing all 3 600-volt leg circuit breakers. Now, here's how you actually execute the drop safely. Step 1, you hit lower hull for the first leg only, just one. And you let that generator stabilize. Actually, drill this into your head right now. Never, ever lower all 3 legs at the same time from a cold start. Step 2, you're going to stop that leg when the spud can is just, say, 2 to 3 feet below the surface. Why? Because you've got to let those cans completely fill with water before you shut the drain valves. If you skip this, sediment is going to get in there and absolutely ruin your day later on. Once they're full, step 3, keep lowering until you're hovering about 10 to 15 feet above the seabed. Now, right before you actually touch down, you have to be hyper aware of this warning. Drift during touchdown causes severe structural damage to your cans and legs. Seriously, if your rig is drifting even a little bit when those cans hit the mud, you are asking for catastrophic damage. You've got to lock that movement down, get your tugs or your anchors dialed in, and completely stabilize the unit before you make that final contact. Phase 2, elevating the hull, rising to the working air gap. Okay, boom. All 3 legs are firmly on the bottom. Now we're ready to climb. You step up and press raise hull. And honestly, just take a second to think about what's happening when you push that single button. 60. That is 60 massive motors energizing all at once across the rig. All the brakes release simultaneously, and every single pinion starts climbing the racks. It is just an incredible orchestration of raw mechanical power.
But, with all that power comes a literally razor-thin margin for error. 0.3 degrees. As you're pushing up to your initial 5-foot preload air gap, your eyes need to be glued to that inclination monitor. Your hull absolutely must stay within a maximum of 0.3 degrees of inclination in any direction, the whole time. No exceptions, no drift.
Let's do a quick pop quiz to see if we're on the same page. Imagine you're standing at the console. You're watching the depth indicators as the hull goes up, and suddenly you notice one leg is penetrating deeper. It's reading 2 feet lower than the others. Quick, what's your next move?
Did you say stop? Because the answer is to STOP and re-level before continuing. It's totally non-negotiable. Don't even think about trying to just power through it, okay? You hit stop immediately. Once the other legs are locked in safely, you go into your touchscreen and use the individual leg controls. This lets you dial in that precise fine leveling to fix that one rogue leg before you bring the whole system back online. Phase 3, operating the jacking console, mastering the command center.
To be a true pro at this, you've got to know exactly what's happening under the hood when you hit those buttons. A quick press of raise hull slams all 3 leg contactors closed at once. Hit stop and those contactors open, instantly dropping all the brakes. But here is the big one for lowering. Confirm resistor bank ready before lowering. Never lower without it. If you try to bring that massive hull down without the resistor bank online, the regenerative power from all that descending weight will violently overload your generators. It's a non-negotiable step to keep the rig's electrical system from frying itself.
Phase 4, alarm response, diagnosing and reacting under pressure.
Look, even on your best day, alarms are going to happen, and you need to know how to react in a split second. Let's break down this matrix. First up, motor overload. If one motor trips, it doesn't just isolate that motor, it stops all 3 legs dead in their tracks.
You've got to find it, figure out why, and only override it if you are 100% sure it's safe. Next, a brake alarm, like a bad plug or blown fuse. Same deal, stops all legs instantly. Check your connectivity and continuity before you even think about bypassing it. Finally, that resistor bank fault we just talked about. This one absolutely prevents you from lowering, but interestingly enough, it doesn't stop you from raising the hull. Make sure you know the difference.
But folks, please pay incredibly close attention to this next warning. Unlike those motor or brake trips that automatically shut the party down, the inclination alarm does not auto-stop. I repeat, it will not auto-stop. The console is going to be screaming at you that you're blowing past that 0.3-degree limit, but it will literally let you tear the rig apart unless you act. You must press stop manually. It's entirely on your shoulders to prevent that catastrophic stress.
Phase 5. Emergency jacking options when the console goes dark.
All right, worst case scenario time. You're mid-jack and you get a total comms loss. The main display just goes black. You've got two options here. Option A, you hook up the camera and remote laptop to an Ethernet switch. This is your safe play. It gives you a full HMI and keeps all your monitoring and critical alarms online. Then there's option B, turning the key switch inside the control cubicle to local. Let me be clear, this is the extreme danger zone. Yeah, you get your physical push buttons back, but you're flying totally blind. You are bypassing all safety alarms. No motor protection, no brake warnings, and absolutely zero inclination monitoring. You only ever use option B as a literal last resort.
Phase 6. Post-jacking sequence. Securing the rig.
Whew. Okay, you've hit your target air gap, the OIM is happy, and you press stop. The tension in the room finally drops. But you're not done yet. Let's rapid fire through the shutdown checklist. First, confirm all contactors are open and your stop buttons are lit up. Open those leg circuit breakers. Verify your brake plug connectivity on the console. Your leg depth auto-saves when you hit stop, which is great, but make sure it's recorded. Then get out there for the physical checks. Eyeball the leg racks, shut the motor compartment covers, lube up the racks and pinions based on your schedule, and finally, log those jacking hours.
So here's the big takeaway from all this. The Super 116E is an absolute beast, but it demands total precision and perfect operator focus. Have you truly mastered its limits? Or is a forgotten resistor back check, or maybe a split-second delay on an inclination warning going to compromise your next lift? Take what we've covered in this explainer. Grab your vessel-specific manual and make sure you are ready to own that console. Thanks for hanging out with me for this breakdown, and stay safe out there on the water.